Hi everyone, welcome back to Banjo-Tooie again. So in this video I'm going to go back to some of the levels that I've already visited and take care of a few of the loose ends that I've left there. The first one we're going to head to is Glitter Gulch Mine, where we've already done pretty much everything. There's just 2 Jiggies and I think 1 Jinjo and maybe a Global left to get. It's not going to take us too long, but there's plenty of other stuff that I'm going to do in this video after this level. So let's just get started with that. So right off the bat I'm just going to warp to Mumbo's because I've already activated all the warps in here, so I can just get around the level really quickly now. And just over here, yeah, there's the Global over there. I actually thought I got this one. I can remember picking it up. Maybe it was just in practice, but... So yeah, I should point out, even if I'm not going to use all the Globals, which I'm definitely not, there's a couple of them that I'm going to not need to use, I still do need to collect them because they are counted on the pause screen, and that's how we define 100% in this game. So usual stuff here, you're supposed to use the TNT guy to get inside here. If you are careful with your eggs, you can just do the same thing. I should point out though, even though these are bars, it's treated like a solid wall, so, and you can't blow this up with grenade eggs, which makes no sense. So you have to use the little crack at the side as before. It's pretty lenient this time though, so I'll just throw a clockwork through there, and I can pick up this guy. Just one more of the brown guys left to get. And the last 2 Jiggies of Glitter Gulch Mine are just through this boulder. I think this is the first time we've split up in this level. For this next Jiggy you're supposed to use Banjo and Kazooie, but really I don't think they put much thought into it because you can easily do it with just Kazooie. And you can probably just do it with Banjo as well actually. But it's quicker with Kazooie. So if I just drop down here, you're supposed to use Banjo upstairs and he'll like turn on the lights down here and you can see what you're doing. Let me just get the fire eggs out. But you can avoid all of that if you just use the fire eggs. In fact, you don't even really need to do this. If you know where the platforms are, you can just jump straight to them, but it's better to be safe. And for this last one, you can just jump straight across. Nice and easy. I'll just kill myself to get back to Banjo real quick. So just one last thing to get, and it's just through here. This is pretty much the last part of Glitter Gulch Mine. It's the only part we haven't been to at all yet, the Gloomy Caverns, I think. So in this room, to tell you the truth, I don't even remember how you're supposed to do it. I think you're supposed to like hit these generators or something like that, and you hit all of them, and it like eventually you end up there. But you can actually skip all of that. If you just come over here and do like a backflip and then a ground pound, you need to actually be at the ladder, but if you time it just right, which I'm struggling to do right now, then yeah, you'll just grab the ladder like that. It just skips the entire thing, which lets you get this Jiggy nice and early. If you're more skilled than me, okay. So I'll just kill myself again because I want to head back to the entrance. So I'm going to leave this level for good now. There's literally nothing else in it for me. I'm just going to prove that actually, just to convince myself as well that I haven't missed anything. Yep, looks good. So we are good to go. I'm just going to jump into the fuel depot. Wait, is that where I'm going? No, it's fuel storage. I don't even know what I was thinking of. So I'm going to cancel these shoes here because I want to show off this music that plays here. It's kind of a shame you don't hear this anywhere else because it's pretty much the best music in Glitter Gulch Mine. It's like the sort of futuristic version of it. Probably can't hear it too well over my voice, but whatever. So through here is Witchy World. What you're supposed to do is from the Witchy World side, you're supposed to come up here and you can see like a red button over there just above Banjo's head. You're supposed to press that. You can skip all of that if you just hug this wall, go into first person mode, turn around, just find the crack, and fire a clockwork through. And you can just explode this and it'll activate the switch. Which saves a nice bit of backtracking, so it's always good. Plus it's kind of funny to see Banjo like in the cutscene when the box is coming through. So this opens up a new minigame in Witchy World, which we're going to do right away because I'm right next to it. It's a pretty fun one. It does last a little while, but it's not that hard. So you just jump inside the saucer, and the idea is that you fly around the level and shoot targets, and it's just the usual story. Red's worth 1, green's worth 2, blue's worth 3. And the idea is that you get 500, 400 for second place, 500 for first, and if you get first place, then you end up with both prizes, which we need to get. So the whole thing is just basically this, where it's like a little arch every time. It's pretty easy to get 500. I used to struggle with this a lot when I was younger, but I've actually been able to get over 600 once, now that I'm growing up, so I guess the game isn't really that hard. At least not as bad as I remember it. I would say on average in practice, I mean I've not practiced this game a lot, but when I'm practicing the route for this run, I like to do all the parts, and I'd say my average is like about 550 or so. That's usually what I end up with. I'll probably end up with much less than that after having said that. It's quite forgiving as well, like you can hit them when they're clearly off screen as well, which is nice. Okay, there's a really fast bit coming up here. Yeah, there's a couple really fast bits like that. Most of the time it gives you just 5 blue targets when it does that, because you only have like a split second to try and hit some of them. So this is the area that we came into as Mumble earlier. We activated it, but I actually could have got that Jiggy as Mumble, but it's pretty risky to do, so I prefer to do it as BK later on, so I'm going to get that in just a little while. I like challenges like this because it gives you like a nice tour of the level. It's just, I guess it could show you some things that you might not have visited yet if you were playing this game for the first time and didn't know everything about it already like I do. Okay, so yeah, I got 3 of them, that's pretty cool. Really getting any of them at all is an accomplishment, I think, because you do move really quick and you go upside down as well, which completely disorients you. So yeah, it's probably really annoying to listen to this rapid egg sound, but most of the mini-games that involve shooting things do give you infinite eggs, so the best way to do it is to just hold Z or Z if you like, and just aim with the control stick. So what's interesting is that one of Boggy's kids is in this place, but we don't actually see her when you're in this minigame, which is kind of strange. I think most of the things in the level do still load when you're in the minigame, but this one doesn't. I guess it's just because they're like randomly placed, rather than always definitely there. So yeah, as you can see, I'm almost at 500 already. And we're on the final stretch for the game anyway, so I'm just going to try and get as high as I can get it, I suppose. I'm not really good at aiming with the control stick. My N64 controller is getting a little old. It's not as easy to play with as it once was. Oh, I only got 1 that time, poor show. Not impressed. Okay, cool, so I got about my average, just a little over. And thank God it takes you all the way back to the start, so you don't have to get back there manually. So yeah, second prize was the Cheeto page. I think it was. Usually the Cheeto page is second prize. Although, in the last level of the game, the Cheeto page that you win from Canary Mary is like the second thing you get, so I don't actually know. It doesn't matter, I got both of them. So there's actually something at the very top of this that I need to collect as well. I just did a backflip, he'll just grab it. And now I'm going to head inside that place that we activated with Mumbo a long time ago and get the Jiggy that we have been able to get for a while. One of Boggy's kids can appear in here as well, but I remember when I did this level originally, I checked where they all were and there's none in here, so that was pretty useless information. So the best thing to do here is go around the back of it so that you're like on the side that's moving upwards and just get on it like that. Sometimes it can be a little tricky. I'm actually surprised I got that so quickly. Usually it takes me a couple tries. Sometimes you just don't like clip it properly. So yeah, once again showing off there that you can avoid any fall damage if you just do a ground pound and then fall off the ledge afterwards. Pretty neat. So another thing that we opened ages ago in Witchy World is the Dodgem game. I'm going to go and take care of that right now because it's right next to where I am. So one thing that's kind of interesting is I've tried to get inside these. I don't think it's possible. It looks kind of like there's a crack there, but I just can't seem to do it. I think it might be because it's like slanted as well. No part of it is completely straight, so it definitely does look like there's a crack there. It's not like that thing in Grunty Industries where it was just like the door was just part of the wall. But I don't know. I'm not gonna bother. Maybe someone more talented than me can get it. So this game's pretty fun. I mean, it's simple enough. It's just the usual thing. Blue is worth 3 and so on. You just have to get as many of these little things as you can. These are also the things that were in the first game in Freeze Easy Peak that you had to get to the Christmas tree. We saw them in Grunty Industries as well. I don't even know what you're supposed to get here. It's like 30 or 40 or something. It's really low. Like, I mean, given how long they give you, I remember that. But since I never read the text, I don't actually know the value. It's pretty easy to do. So I'm just going to go for a high score, I suppose. I don't know what my best is. I think my best is like 80 something, maybe 85 or something. And it's funny because I got it on the second game, which is actually harder than this. It just completely depends on like your luck with where they spawn and which ones spawn. You know, I remember I got a lot of blue ones that time. So it's the same thing as before, except now you've got 2 guys coming after you. It's still really not that hard at all. I really like Banjo's car. I think it looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of like something from Crash Bandicoot. Just looks like it a little bit. So yeah, you can see what I'm doing here. The best strategy for these games where you have more than one of them following you is to just sort of get them together so that they basically behave like there's just one of them. I mean, that's really obvious, but there's nothing else to talk about during this boring minigame, so sometimes one of them will like deviate from the path a little bit and collect one of the, I don't even remember what they're called right now, the lights. Is it Twinklies or something? Something like that. 67, not too bad. Pretty low. I think I did better in the last one. So yeah, this one over here is the only one that you can really feasibly fail. I'm actually going to listen to the text this time just to see what the score I need to beat is, because I really don't remember at all. Right, that's not going to be a problem, and yeah, it is Twinklies. Wow. Okay, so I've already got them all in the one spot, so it's just a matter of sort of going around the perimeter and picking up anything that happens to appear. As long as I can get 40, I have nothing to worry about. Sometimes it's kind of annoying if they get you like in a corner. They can just keep you there for like 5 seconds or something. That's really the only way you can screw yourself over in this game though. Yeah, it kind of happened a little bit there. Okay, so I just barely made it, but I did make it and that's all that matters. So now we get a Jiggy from that. And this is actually the second last Jiggy of Witchy World. There's only one other challenge that I need to do in here. And that is to transport all of Boggy's kids back to their mother. So there's one of them back here. I'm going to leave him for now because I need to be just Banjo to do that one. So what do I want to do? I don't even remember. In fact, I don't even want to warp. I'm just talking nonsense. I forgot you need to get food for them and for something else later on as well. So I'm going to go and visit the burger guy and the fries guy. This is pretty gross, man. He coughs on his burgers and stuff. He gives you 5 of them, which is a bit weird. I can't imagine ordering 5 burgers at once. But we'll be glad of that later on, because it means that we have more than enough for all the stuff that you need food for in this game. Yeah, this one's not really as gross, I think. It's just like really salty or something, but most fries are quite salty. The burger guy was coughing all over his stuff. So I remember that one of Boggy's kids is in here, and this one does want food, so I need to go and give it to her. What's kind of weird is that in the first game, all of Boggy's kids were little boys, but one of them's a girl now. Not sure what happened. Okay, so 2 more to get. I know where both of them are. I actually got pretty good luck with where they are. Like, it works out in terms of the route pretty well. So the next thing I want to do is I want to split up Banjo and Kazooie, because I don't need Kazooie for any of the next stuff. So I'll just get rid of her. And I'll head over to the space zone again, and I'm going to pick up that kid that I ignored before. And we'll see why we need Banjo in just a second. It's kind of pathetic. Where is he? He's over here. So, of course he wants you to give him food as well. Looks like he might have already had enough, but we can't progress unless we do it. And he's too heavy to go back, so you have to pick him up with your backpack. And something that's kind of weird is that, well, aside from the fact that he managed to fit him in there, it doesn't slow you down at all, and you can also use the snooze pack at the same time. I mean, the backpack is slightly bigger than it normally is when you have something in it, but I just thought that was kind of funny that you could still do that. So I'm going to take him back to his mother now, but before I actually drop him off, I'm going to get the last kid, who is conveniently right next to the opening of the level, just over here in the Area 51 part. This kid doesn't need any food, which is nice. He just needs a good beating to get him to behave. There's quite a lot of violence on kids in this level, actually, as we'll see in just a second. I don't know why I'm jumping. I don't even think it saves any time. So I'll just drop him off here. Oops. Again, he can do that move, but there's like a big fat guy in his bag. I don't know. It's terrible. I don't think he deserves that. He's only the way he is because of his parents. I mean, look at them. Or her. Although Boggy's the same, we'll see him later on. So you get a nice jiggy from this, when she finally leaves. I should have like stood in front of her, because she would have pushed me out of the way, which is kind of weird. So yeah, she mentioned that she's going back to Hailfire Peaks, which is a level we haven't been to yet. Well, we actually technically have, but we've not sort of properly been to it yet. And that's where Boggy lives in this game. So I think we're now completely finished with Witchy World. I'm just going to check that. Yep, looks perfect. So it's time to leave. Now, let me just check something. Yeah, I've got 4 burgers and 4 fries. This obviously makes sense because I gave 1 burger to one of the kids and 1 of the fries to the other kid. So in Pterodactyl Land, there's like a tribe of cavemen that need you to feed them, and that takes 3 food items to do that. Grunty talks to you here, but you can just jump over it. And the game is kind of weird with this because you're not supposed to leave this level with food. Whenever you do it via the train or just through the level entrance, the game actually takes the food off of you. But if you're quick enough, you can actually avoid that, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to try and demonstrate that now. What you're supposed to do is there's like 1 exit that you need the claw clamor boots for. that lets you take the food out, but that takes forever, so I'm not going to do it. I hate this guy. Okay, cool. So I killed him like that just so I can take a little shortcut and skip all of that climbing. It would be nice if the train automatically came to you when you pressed that button, but unfortunately it doesn't. I'm gonna kill this guy actually because I think I'm still missing a bit of health. Still think it's really weird that he's talking to you, but whatever. We're making pretty good progress here at least. That's 2 levels completely finished already. And we're almost going to finish a 3rd one as well. So it's been a while since we did this, but we actually freed one of the dinosaurs that was trapped in Witchy World, so we're going to see that running inside the cabin just now. Which is a pretty long cutscene. I mean, there's quite a few cutscenes in this. This is probably the most cutscene heavy part of the game, which is funny. I guess I can't really complain. I don't know why it's running in a zigzag, that makes no sense. The door's right there. At least it gets to skip all the rest of the level. Yeah, you can see the sign on the door there that says, like, no food or whatever. Over here. I'm not going to go all the way over to it, but whatever. So both of the dinosaurs are in there, the one that was sick and the one that was trapped. So I'm going to take both of them back home now. So let's just go to Pterodactyl Land, and there's quite a few cutscenes coming up as well where they run into the cave. This will give me time to explain what I'm going to do next. So I mentioned that you're not supposed to take food out of the level this way. The game is kind of weird when it comes to checking for that, which is really good for us because it means that I can skip a lot of backtracking. If I can exit the cabin quickly enough, then the game, it will take the burgers, because it always takes the burgers before the fries. But I'll be out of the train before it can take the fries. And that actually means that I can keep them, which is really cool. But I need to be really, really quick when I'm exiting the cabin, otherwise it will manage to take both of them, and I'll have to go all the way back to Witchy World, get more fries and burgers, because it only works if you've got burgers too, so that the game takes them first. And that gives you time to leave with the fries, and I'm going to have to do it again, which is going to take years, so hopefully we'll get it first time. I'm kind of hyping it up a little bit here. It's not actually that big of a deal, and it's not actually that hard. As long as you do like a roll to the door, you're good. So that's the first one delivered. The second one, the sick one, is going to come out in 2 seconds. I've said before that I really don't like this level too much. One of the things that I'd also find annoying about it is the music. I just don't like it at all. It just irritates me for some reason. I don't think it's a good song. Most of the music in this game is better than the music from the first game, but this one just sucks. So as soon as this cutscene's over, I'm going to have to roll to the door and jump out right away. Okay, here we go. Okay, I should have got it. Nothing came up on the screen. Usually you see it like taking your burgers away if you're too slow. So if I just check to make sure. Yep, I've still got my fries. The burgers are gone, but the fries are still there. So, take that, Grunty. That's what I think of your rules. I guess I'll grab these. I'm gonna need them later on actually, which is pretty funny because the gold feathers are pretty useless in this game. So here we are back in Pterodactyl Land. Don't worry, we're not going to stay here for too long. I'm going to do something which is a really, really cool trick because it lets us skip completely the level transformation. Inside here is a cave. The idea is that you scare this guy with the large dinosaur and he runs away, then you can get inside. Not necessary at all. You can just do the clockwork stuff. I'm just going to shoot this in backwards to make sure. But this one, it's actually a little different from how we usually do it. Usually we shoot the clockwork in and have it so that the grenade hits Banjo while the clockwork is in the loading zone. This time I'm going to shoot the clockwork while it's in the loading zone so that it explodes, and the game will put me back to BK while the jiggy is coming in on the screen. It has the same result, but I don't know, this one's a little easier I think, usually. So that's all it takes. It's much, much easier than the other ones. And I've managed to skip him. I can't go back outside because I'll just get stuck behind him and it'll force me back in. So yeah, this is the Oogle Boogle cave. The idea is that you're supposed to warm them up and feed them. And I've got the fries to do that, so that's fine. There's 3 of them, this is the first one. They take forever to stop shivering sometimes. Okay, so 2 left. The next one I'm going to get is pretty high up, so I'll just unlock this spring pad. It's pretty hard to see inside this cave, and it's like that for pretty much all the dark parts of this game, I find. I could just change the brightness on my TV, I suppose, but I'm just far too lazy to do that. So just 1 left. This guy's got a horn, I don't think the other one did. I was trying to slide over to him before the little flame cutscene started, but I missed it. Oh, it doesn't matter, I was close enough. Oh, no I wasn't. So you might be able to hear one of Terry's eggs in the background. I'll go and get that in just a second. So that's them all fed and warm. I like that this cutscene avoids the fire. I think that's kind of a nice touch. I like how aware the game is sometimes, but I feel like if this was DK64 it would have just went straight through the fire. No fucks would be given. Okay, so I need to be just Kazooie so I can go and hatch that egg. Unfortunately for us, there's a spring pad here. I don't think I actually need this. I can get up there without it. I should be able to anyway, if you just sort of backflip in here. Maybe it doesn't work with this, fine, but it does work with other ones. Yeah, you can like... You can sort of backflip by standing on invisible ground on the way down the vine. I do want to show this off because it's pretty cool. Okay, screw it. Like, I'll be able to show it off later on. It probably is possible there, it's just a little tricky. So this is the 3rd egg. There's 1 left that we need to get, and I'll go and get that in just a second. It's not cute at all. It's got quite a belly, actually, already. Okay, so I'm going to run back to Banjo, and I'm going to commit suicide after I meet him. Because, as I mentioned earlier, I can't actually just exit this cave. The caveman there is just gonna force me back inside right away, which is no good. So I'm gonna go back to Mumbo now. In fact, I think this is the first time that we will have been Mumbo in this level. His main use in this level was supposed to like change the size of Wumba's wigwam, and that changes which dinosaur you go, be it the small one or the large one. And obviously we've skipped all of that, so unfortunately he still does have 1 use that we can't get around, and that's to heal the, or not heal, but to enlarge the final dinosaur family member, so that they're all happy, all their problems are fixed. God, that was laggy. But yeah, there's no way to get around this, so we just have to do it. Okay, so now that we're Mumbo, I'm just gonna head downstairs if I can find it. And I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I went around and activated all the warps earlier. It really does save a lot of time, especially when you're slow like Mumbo is. I'm going to warp to Wumba's. I'm not going to go inside. I don't think Mumbo can go inside actually. I don't think it lets you. and I'm going to head through this tunnel. Actually, something interesting. When I got that Jinjo in there using the clockwork to get through the crack in the wall, the game actually pressed the switch down. As you can see, it's got the T-Rex on it. I've never been the T-Rex, but the game obviously thinks I have, which is kind of neat. So you have to take this little ledge to get to the dinosaur cave, because the other side has like a steep slope on it that you can't get up unless you use Talon Trot. Obviously Mumbo can't do that. I can't believe this quest is finally over. It takes so long. I think it's spanned over like 5 videos or 6 videos or something like that. Okay, so now everything's fine, everything's back to normal. And I can get... Although it's kind of weird, like, that one probably always was small, whereas this one wasn't always sick and that one wasn't always away. It's just kind of weird that they got you to fix that. It's kind of like plastic surgery or something. Only for height. So I'm just going to kill myself to get back to Mumbo's, without having to actually go back to Mumbo's. And that's the only use we have for him in this level. So it's back up to the chair with him. Oops, wrong way. And we're almost done with this level, thank God. There's just a couple little things that I need to get. Over here is a Cheeto page that I've managed to avoid until now. There really isn't a lot to see right now, there's just like so little going on. Okay, whatever. So it's inside this rock. You can't do the usual sort of egg stuff to get inside it, you need to actually break it. I've tried to get inside it without breaking it, but it just is not going to happen. Okay, so I want to land on this suspicious looking thing. And yeah, you could have used Mumbo for that as well. I think it like raises those little platforms, just makes a nice shortcut. But totally unnecessary. So I'm going to head back up to the top of the mountain now. And I think there's still 3 Jiggies to get in this level. I'm going to get 2 of them just now. The third one I can't get until far later on. Well, not far later on, probably the next video actually, but it won't actually be directly from this level. Okay, so I want to head inside the mountain, which is a place we haven't really been yet. I guess I technically was there when I was inside the river passage, but it's funny because this is like a really, really big room with like nothing in it. Like there's almost nothing in it. There's like something in the middle, and then there's like a flight pad, and that's pretty much it. It's like the Donkey Kong 64 room. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to drop down as Kazooie, find the flight pad, come up and get up here. If it would ever let me go into first person mode and get up there, there's an egg up there. But this is the thing I was trying to show off earlier. If you do like a backflip, you can actually stand on invisible floor. Do another one. Oh, I kind of screwed that up. You need to sort of move away from it when you do the second one. Yeah, I'm really screwing this up, I don't know why. Okay, and then you can just sort of navigate your way back there. It probably almost would have been faster to just go down and get the flight pad, but I wanted to show that off because I think it's a cool little trick. So this is the final baby. As you can see, it's a good deal bigger than the other ones, so we're going to have to use Banjo to transport it. Which is the reason that I left this one till last. The last one that you hatch, and you can do them in any order, the last one that you hatch is always going to be too big. So it's most convenient to do this one last, because we're right next to Terry's nest. Okay. I did it again. I can't remember like which C button it is. It's C left. Keep pressing C down for some reason. Oh, come on. That's bullcrap. I'm pixels from it. Oh, whatever. It's time to die anyway. A cool way to do it here is to just come up here, get over the wall like that, and say goodnight. Actually, I was wrong earlier. We have been in here before. When we got the DK64 Jiggy up there, we were technically in here. So the last thing that I need to get, or the last like item, is this one. I can just do the usual stuff to get it. Because after all, this is Banjo-Tooie, and that works pretty much on any wall that has something behind it. And the last Jiggy that I'm going to get for now requires me to get to that center platform, so I'm just going to fly up there. I'm just going to beak bomb straight onto it. The reason I did that is, I mean, it doesn't make any difference. I just did it so that during this cutscene they'll still be flying, which is pretty funny. I really don't like this dinosaur. I think it doesn't feel like it belongs in this game because it looks too realistic. Its eyes are too serious. Everything in rare games should have cute, funny eyes. Okay, so what you have to do is just shoot a bunch of stuff. It's really, really easy. You have to get 50 of them, and it's just the usual stuff, with blue being worth 3 and whatever. Some people like to stand in the middle and just turn in a circle for the entire time. That does work, and you will beat it if you do that, but I prefer to stand over here because it means you can see everything. And it's easier to get a high score, which is pretty much the only enjoyment you can get out of this game because it's just so easy to actually get the Jiggy. Once again, I'm just holding Z because why not? It lets you do it. I guess you could make this more challenging for yourself by refusing to do that, but the game's just so boring that there's no point in not doing it. Okay, so I broke 100, which is more than double what we need. I can't believe I never hit that guy. Just shows how worn out my control stick is. I don't even know what I got. It was like 120 something. Not too bad. Okay, so no, I don't want to do it again. Why would anyone ever want to do that again? And with that, I'm just gonna quickly check my totals. Yeah, I've got everything except for one Jiggy. It's something that we can't get right now. We'll get it when we go to the next level. And yeah, other than that, Pterodactyl Land, along with Witchy World and Glitter Gulch Mine, are now completely finished, 100%. So that's pretty cool. Just gonna quit the game now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.